break down all that is going on in Canada's Pro Basketball League.
Welcome back to Basketball on Saga 960. Let's go!
Good evening and welcome to TD Place for tonight's game between the Ottawa Blackjacks and the Saskatchewan Rattlers. I'm AJ Jakubek alongside Hannah Sunley-Paisley. We've got Elias Elzane here on the sidelines. And Hannah, huge game for both of these teams. For Ottawa, win, and they're in the playoffs. For Saskatchewan, they're trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, sitting last in the standings. And some big news before the game as Ottawa's top scorer and top rebounder, Nick Ward, went down with an injury in warm-up. He will not play. Nick Ward replaced by a late addition in guard, Antonio Williams.
Yes, Nick Ward with 18.7 points a game on average and 9.4 boards. The team is going to have to come up with those points and boards somewhere, and it's giving a lot of space for other people to step up in this moment, especially getting a new look at Antonio Williams, and also for the third game for Negus William Chen, who is now in the starting lineup.
When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach, Charles Dubé-Bray, and much more. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, and CBC Sports, listening on TSN 1200 Ottawa.
Got my hair, got my head, got my brains, got my ears, got my eyes, got my nose, got my mouth, I've got my smile, I've got life, I got my freedom,
Norgine Biotech, we are always ready to do our part. Your patience has enabled our scientists to develop asymptomatic testing solutions for you and the businesses that miss you. Together, we can bring our game back to Canada. Norgine Biotech, the official laboratory and partner of the CEBL.
The CEBL experience extends beyond the court. Hit up at CEB League on social media for all the latest news, behind-the-scenes access, and updates from across the league. Welcome to our game.
Welcome back. AJ Jakubek alongside Hannah Sunley-Paisley and Elias Elzane, who's with the head coach of the Ottawa Blackjacks, Charles Dubé-Bray. Elias.
Coach, tough news in the warm-ups. You lose Nick Ward, your leading scorer and rebounder. How do you guys adjust to that?
You know, it's who's next mentality, right? Next man up has got to be there. We're very confident with Dominique Archie playing as a big man as well, so we're just going to slide him in there, and that gives more opportunity for perimeter players to go out there and get more minutes.
Antonio Williams is active today. Is there a limit restriction? How much is he up to date with the playbook and all that?
I mean, that's for us to figure out. I mean, there's some late minute adjustments right now, last minute adjustments. So we're just going to see out there, see with the flow of the game how much he can do. But we like his athleticism, and we think he can bring something to the table.
Good starts are fine for you guys. It's kind of closing out the game late in the fourth and Elam time. What adjustments do you have to make at the end of the game to come away with a win?
I mean, Elam Ending was pretty long, like when we played it in Niagara, and the start of Elam Ending was really good for us. It's just the final few possessions where, we can get a stop down the stretch and didn't execute properly on the final 2 or 3 possessions, but just got to stay a little more focused in general.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's Elias Elzane with the head coach of the Ottawa Blackjacks, Charles Dubé-Bray, as we have a look at the playoff picture in the CEBL. Top 2 will advance right to Edmonton for championship weekend. Teams 3 and 4 will host playoff games, a one-off against teams 5 and 6. So an Ottawa win tonight. It's the only meeting between the Blackjacks and the Rattlers, Hannah, and that would mean the best Saskatchewan could finish is 4-10, and the worst Ottawa would finish is 4-10. So that's why a win tonight would ensure, with the tiebreak, that the Blackjacks would make the playoffs, and Fraser Valley actually would make the playoffs as well.
Absolutely.
With this Saskatchewan loss tonight.
Yes, and even with the record that the Blackjacks have right now, they still have a chance, albeit perhaps a long shot, to finish 4th and host. But I think most interestingly, like for this game, for them to come away from a win with this game, with their new players coming in and being able to move into their week of practice before another home game, is going to be a huge opportunity for them to get some momentum.
Let's have a look at our keys to victory, and we'll start with the Ottawa Blackjacks. They're presented by Mind Lock Training. Hannah.
First for the Blackjacks is ball pressure. Teams have a tendency of being very good shooting teams against Ottawa, and they need to limit that as much as possible. Next, the inside-out game. Ottawa is at their best when they are able to attack and dump off, or attack and kick outside. And lastly, offensive rebounds. The Guelph loss, they lost by 3 points and only had 4 offensive boards the entire game. And without Nick in the lineup, that has to be a focus.
And the keys to victory for the Saskatchewan Rattlers.
Team defense in the paint. Even without Nick Ward in the lineup, Dominic Archie has been doing a great job for the Blackjacks, and their rotations in the paint is going to be very important. Next, finding open scorers. They are averaging 6 less assists a game. And finding their open shooters, and those shooters and scorers being able to finish around the basket and from the outside will be very important. And lastly, pushing the pace. Talking to Coach Connor Dow before the game, he said that when they are at their best, they are pushing the pace and going as fast as they can.
Thanks, Hannah. Let's have a look at the starters. And first, for the Ottawa Blackjacks, they're presented by the Ottawa Sun. So a late change, again, with no Nick Ward, their top scorer and rebounder, means Negus Webster-Chan gets the start, along with Earl Calloway and Kadre Gray in the backcourt. Tyrell Green and Dominique Archie will get more of a low post look, round out the starting 5 for Saskatchewan. Their starters presented by Tourism Sask. It'll be Travis Daniels and DeAndre Bernard in the front court, and on the perimeter, DeMarcus Holland, Devontae Bandu, and Kemi Osei. Tonight's game officials are Greg Spagnoli, Christopher Bukella, and Ryan Langdon. The official game ball of the CEBL is Spalding. Get your new CEBL official replica ball today by visiting cebl.ca. And Hannah, I was in Winnipeg watching on television, the only game here we haven't broadcast. You were in the building for that dramatic victory, the only loss this year for the defending league champion Edmonton Stingers. And boy, what a difference an atmosphere makes, and you can just tell
100%.
Right from the outset.
Yes, absolutely. And being a spectator of that game, as it was a CBC broadcast, we weren't here. I can really say the fans won that game. There were a few moments down the stretch where Ottawa usually breaks down, and the fans were so loud, telling them not today, and they used that energy, brought it onto the floor, and were able to come away with a win against an undefeated team.
There's 1,000 people in here, but it certainly seems like a lot more as fans are fired up. They're just loving being able to go to a sporting event again. That's massive for anyone that's been sitting at home for the last 18 months.
Somebody gave them cowbells as well. Cowbells are definitely helping them make some noise.
It'll be noisy in here this evening. Blackjacks wearing their white and red uniforms with the white shorts and the gray trim. The Rattlers in their all green uniforms with the Saskatchewan wheat gold and white trim. gold numbers as well. As opening tip, and Sask gains possession. Off the bat, it's Holland. Into the hands of Osei, who brings it up the floor, guarded by Kadre Gray. They work it inside Holland with a jumper, and it's good, and DeMarcus Holland opened the scoring for the Rattlers. Callaway for Ottawa. Guarded by Osei up top. Kadre Gray fakes the shot, draws the foul. It'll be a non-shooting foul.
Great recognition from Kadre there, taking that attack, seeing that his player was rushing him like he was going to shoot it, and just drew that contact.
First personal on DeMarcus Holland of Saskatchewan. Inbound from Webster Chan. Dominique Archie now to Earl Callaway. Drives, dishes. Three-pointer Tyrell Green, too strong. They crash the boards, but Saskatchewan with the rebound, and they run the floor. Osei to Holland. As Osei penetrates, puts it up too strong. Defensive board for Ottawa. Webster Chan. Moves it inside, layup no good. The finish just not there from Tyrell Green. As Saskatchewan pushes it up the floor, and now they'll set up their offense. Osei trying to draw the foul, couldn't get it to go. Rebound on the inside, and it's put home. It's a 4-0 Saskatchewan lead on that bucket from Travis Daniels.
A little bit of illustration there of how Ottawa needs to be focusing on the rebounds. They've been giving up a couple second chance opportunities there and not converting.
Gray penetrates, dishes. Dominique Archie short from downtown. Saskatchewan running the floor. Holland as they push the pace. Back out. Three-pointer short from Bernard. And Ottawa in possession across the timeline. It's Negus Webster Chan trying to drive. Stolen. Here comes Holland for Saskatchewan. Corner three, and it's good. And Saskatchewan out to an early 7-0 lead. Devontae Bandu with a corner three for the Rattlers.
As the Saskatchewan coach told me earlier today, they are at their best when they're pushing the pace, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
Long three, Earl Callaway is short. And Saskatchewan with the rebound. Bandu, inside pass, and the bucket is good from DeAndre Bernard. A 9-0 run to start this contest for the Saskatchewan Rattlers as they take the early jump on Ottawa. Upcoming media timeout is brought to you by BitBuy, official cryptocurrency platform of the CEBL.
Watch live games, exclusive features, highlights, interviews, and more only on CEBL Plus. Subscribe now for one low price.
Get ahead of the game with Obasa 6-3 Suites. Looking for short-term furnished housing? Whether your needs are downtown or around the town, Obasa 6-3 Suites can get you into the perfect temporary accommodations. Traveling for work? Relocating? Whatever the need, we can assist you anywhere across Canada. Enjoy comfort, connection, and cleanliness with Obasa 6-3 Suites. Contact us today at 877-99-OBASA or visit obasa63.com.
AJ Jakubek alongside Hannah Sunley-Paisley and Elias Elzane. It's a 9-0 Saskatchewan lead early, and Elias sounds like Charles Dubé-Bray not very happy.
Not at all, AJ. He said some words that I cannot and will not repeat on the broadcast, but that's the easiest way to put it. He's not happy. Thought they were getting too cute on offense and not getting back on defense. Just wants them to be aggressive and stick to the game plan. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Elias. Another jumper falls short, this time from Webster Chan as Holland drives, puts it off the window and good. DeMarcus Holland with 4 points, 11-0 Saskatchewan.
Great finish by Holland there, moving the ball into his right hand and kind of finishing on a fadeaway, even though he had a little bit of a bump there.
Blackjacks work it inside. Archie kicks it back out. Webster Chan for 3, no good. And another defensive rebound for Saskatchewan. Daniels, ex-Mississippi State Bulldog, and he's quite well aware of the sounds that we hear tonight. They use cowbells there for their sporting events. It's very noisy. Missed 3 for the Rattlers. See if Ottawa can get on the board. We played 3:20 in this first quarter. 11-0 Sask. Webster Chan still no good from downtown. And
Ottawa
rebound defensively, Osei.
Ottawa needs an easy 2 right now. They need to find something inside.
14 on the shot clock. Osei guarded by Tyrell Green. Now to Holland. Up top, Daniels. 3-pointer and in and out. Rebound. Kadre Gray runs the floor. The jumper and in and out. They can't buy one.
They're also not really doing a great job of crashing the boards. 3 of them were outside the 3-point line there, and I know defensive transition is not their strong suit, but I don't think that means nobody rebounds.
Certainly big shoes to fill with no Nick Ward in the lineup to that late injury and warm-up as it's stolen here by Tyrell Green. Callaway, crossover dribble, draws the foul. This will be the first on DeAndre Bernard.
One thing that I've noticed about Ottawa, and as a post player myself, is something that I always, when I was coaching, was emphasizing, is there's nobody who's running first to the rim. There's no guy who's stretching the defense, but that means the 3-point line is quite crowded. So when they're taking these threes and they're not attacking all the way in, as I said before the broadcast, Ottawa is best when their inside-out game is on, and right now they're not having any bigs inside. Somebody needs to fill Nick Ward's shoes.
3-pointer is good. And finally, Ottawa on the board from Tyrell Green, 11-3 Saskatchewan.
It's a great attack by Kadre, kick out and a swing when Ottawa's at their best, inside-out game.
Just going to mention a couple of subs for Ottawa as well, as a wild shot put up no good from Holland. Ottawa looks to push the floor. Dominique Archie into Alain Louis, one of the 2 subs, drives and puts up the left-handed layup. Alain Louis is that ball of energy coming off the bench with a bucket. It's 11-5 as Louis and Junior Cadogan checking in for the Blackjacks. Mandu up top for Holland. Guarded by Cadogan. Skip pass to the left. Fadeaway jumper, it's good, and tough shot there from Bandu. He's got 5, and it's a 13-5 Saskatchewan lead. As whole big rejection inside. Driving was Cadogan. And DeAndre Bernard with the block in the paint for Saskatchewan.
It's definitely been a bit more energy in these last couple possessions, as it has been the entire season at points. Thanks to Alain Louis, his take was very strong, and Junior Cadogan just wasn't able to get around his defender on that last take.
Inbound to Dominique Archie with 13 on the shot clock, and ball goes out again. Far sideline for the Blackjacks. 4:29 to go first quarter, and a 13-5 Rattlers lead. As Gray looks to get this in play. Junior Cadogan looks to penetrate, backs off, 4 on the shot clock. Cadogan works it inside, but it's stolen here by DeMarcus Holland. Rattlers run the floor. Bandu for 3, and it's good from Devontae Bandu. He's got 8 points, back to double digits, 16-5 Rattlers.
The body language for the Blackjacks is not looking great right now. They need to be able to come together as a team and find that inside-out game that they're usually so successful with.
Archie backs off Taylor, and it's going to be a push-off against Dominique Archie. Offensive foul, his first.
I think that can be so easily avoided if the posts are able to get position closer to the rim. Right now, they're allowing the defense to move them away from the block. They're catching it past the short corner, so Dominique Archie has to do so much work to just get back to the block, whereas if he was receiving the ball there and then facing up, it would give him more options with less ground to cover.
Holland for Bandu. Good defense for Alain Louis. Bandu's the hot hand from the outside, leading all scorers with 8. And stolen, although Saskatchewan get it back on the inside. Layup up and good from the inside. And that's Taylor. Denzel Taylor with his first 2 points, 18-5 Saskatchewan.
I think this is the first time the Blackjacks have had a bad start at home. Usually they're starting quite well, and I guess if this means they're going to have a great push in the third quarter, I'll take it.
Oh, good pass on the inside, and Dominique Archie finishes off the feed from Alain Louis.
A little miscommunication inside on their team defense there, and Dominique Archie was wide open under the basket.
18-7 Saskatchewan. Rattlers in possession. Holland. Bandu working against Kadre Gray, and a foul called against Gray. Non-shooting foul, his first. Tune in to the CEBL Weekly with host Sean Woodley for chatter about Canada's Pro League and hear from players, coaches, personalities, and much more who make the CEBL a new basketball experience. That's every Thursday on CEBL Plus. You say it's a shooting foul?
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that too. It definitely looked like it was before, but I think because he kind of had a bit of a runner there, if it was in his first steps, he would have been allowed to finish, but I don't love it. I don't love it.
Bandu hits the first. 2 for 2, 20-7. As Bandu hits double figures, 10 points, and he'll take a well-deserved breather.
Right now, everything is going Saskatchewan's way. Ottawa just needs to go back to some very simple basketball, not try and do it themselves. Move the ball, cut well, and screen well.
Cadogan for Archie. For 3, and he hits it. Dominique Archie. And it's a 10-point game, 20-10.
There was some nice action between Kadre Gray and Dominique Archie that got Dominique open on the wing there. We need to see more of that.
Archie with 5 points. Osei trying to go baseline, cut off by Cadogan, kicks it back out, and a foul, I think, against Kadre Gray, and that'll be his second. By the way, great news for Kadre, the pro debutant here this year. He's earned himself a contract in Spain at Club Basket Coruña.
Yes, yeah, that's amazing news, especially I think coming out of U Sport into this league and then getting such a great contract is something that other Canadian players are going to be able to look at and aspire to.
And he'll have a familiar face there as well with Nick Ward.
Absolutely, that's something I would have greatly enjoyed when I was playing pro. Would have been a friend on my team. It does get lonely.
Diawara misses the jumper and a foul, I think, against DeMoston. His first. 2:12 to go, first quarter. 20-10, Saskatchewan.
Tight defense.
Yeah, DeMoston giving Cadogan all he can handle, getting across the timeline as Archie draws the foul before the shot.
Ooh. Coach is not happy about that. I think that's very, very similar to the shooting foul we saw on the other end of the floor. The foul happened in his steps, and on this end of the floor, it's not counting as a shooting foul.
So 14 on the shot clock for Ottawa. Ryan Wright checking in, gets it back out to Cadogan, now sets a screen, looking for the pick and roll. It's not there, down to 4 on the shot clock. Archie takes the long 3 and hits it. Dominique Archie keeping Ottawa in it here in this first quarter. He's got 8, 20-13 Saskatchewan. Osei. Guarded tight by Alain Louis, great defense. 8 on the shot clock. It's kicked back out. Bandu penetrates. Corner 3 up and short. coming in from DeMoston, and rebound Ottawa running the floor. Here's Antonio Williams. What a story for him. Just arrived in Canada today. We'll get to that in a moment. He was quarantining for 2 weeks in the United States. It's Archie puts it up and can't get the roll, but a goaltend against Saskatchewan, and the bucket will count 20-15. And Dominique Archie has been on fire for Ottawa to keep the Blackjacks in it.
Absolutely, and that goaltending happened because somebody grabbed the rim and the rim shook. Whether or not the ball would have fallen in or not, that's going to be 2 points for Ottawa.
Purchase your Blackjacks 50-50 ticket for a chance at the growing cash prize while also supporting youth basketball in Ottawa. Visit 5050theblackjacks.ca. It's brought to you by the OSEG Foundation. Under a minute to go, first quarter, as DeMoston penetrates and draws the foul against Ryan Wright. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, to me it looked like Ryan Wright got a piece of his arm there.
So 10 points each for Bandu and Archie. And you have to think again, just the energy that this crowd, I mean, if there's no crowd here, you get down 11-0.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, as soon as you get a couple of buckets and the crowd gets into it, that's where home advantage really makes a difference in basketball.
I don't know if this is going to help or hurt Ottawa, but I did just hear a couple people chirping the refs from the stands.
First one missed, second one good from DeMoston. His first point tonight, 21-15 Rattlers. 45 seconds to go, first quarter. Louis at the logo. Around a screen. He'll drive. Pulls up, left-handed shot, and good. Alain Louis, 4 points. And a lead down to 4, 21-17.
Great patience by Alain Louis there. Knew he had a bigger guy on him. Attacked hard, stopped on a dime. Made sure he got his defender off his feet before he scored.
Austin pulls up his dribble. Gets it into the hands of Bandu. Williams on him. And a foul called. That'll be the first on Antonio Williams. So, yeah, he had to quarantine for 2 weeks in the United States. Former Kent State player who averaged in his last year there 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. An all second-team MAC player, but was in the States, quarantined for 2 weeks. And with the way it's set up with the CEBL, could come here, arrive,
yes,
as he did today, and
I think
he's
part
right
of
on
the
the
reason
court.
that he had this exception is because he is fully vaccinated, so he was able to quarantine and come right over. But he has not practiced with the team yet, as he did arrive today and was not participating in shoot this morning. So this is the first time he's on the floor with his teammates in any capacity.
Bandu hits both. 12 points for Devontae Bandu. Shot clock is off. 6 on the game clock. Cadogan, turnaround jumper, and it's short. Can't get the roll, and the horn sounds to end the first quarter. Didn't look good early, but the Blackjacks have fought their way back. It's a 23-17 Saskatchewan lead. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, and CBC Sports, listening on TSN 1200 Ottawa.
Stingers getting set to host the championship weekend. Edmonton, they deserve to be considered among the best teams in the league. Keith on the run, he'll take it all the way, gets it to go, and one chance to take the lead.
Oh my goodness, Cassius Robinson is on one. Oh, Johnny B.
Who else would end this game but Xavier Moon?
Saskatchewan Rattlers are the champions in the inaugural
The
season.
Edmonton Stingers come out on top.
Ottawa Embassy Hotel and Suites. Stylish, spacious, and fully redesigned. All the space you'll need to rest and refresh, for work or play. including creative dining at Cooper's. Steps to everything Ottawa has to offer. Proud partner of the Ottawa Blackjacks.
Welcome back inside TD Place. 1,000 fans here. Sounds like a lot more. Certainly even looks like a lot more. AJ Jakubek, Hannah Sundley-Paisley, Elias Elzane. And after a very slow start, down 11-0 right out of the gate. Blackjacks have fought back to make a game of it. 23-17. Second quarter underway. And here's Alain Louis into the corner. Three-pointer Chris Joseph, no good. And the Rattlers with a defensive board. Here's Holland. Guarded by Alain Louis. They work it around the arc. Osei into the low post for Daniels. Turnaround jumper no good, but a rebound offensively for Bernard. Fresh 14 for Saskatchewan. Osei with 5 on the shot clock. Started up top by Wright. Three-point shot, no good, and rebound defensively, Kadre Gray. Brings it up the floor. Inside pass to Wright, and it deflects off a Saskatchewan player, and in. You don't see that every day.
Absolutely not. I mean, that was a great seal by Wright on the inside and a good pass by Tyrell Green. Defense was good too, but unfortunately tipped it in for Ottawa.
So that's Green's bucket. He's got 5 points. 23-19. Saskatchewan. Bernard penetrates, puts it up and in, draws the foul. Great penetration move there by DeAndre Bernard. He'll head to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
That was some great body control in the air. He paused for a moment when he had that ball in the air, took the contact, and was able to finish. It was a great take, finishing with his outside hand.
Ajax, Ontario native. Gets the friendly roll off the front end, 5 points, and a 26-19 Saskatchewan lead. Early second quarter, Joseph, Boston Celtic, Brooklyn Net, and Syracuse Orange. Louis, corner three, Gray, and no good. Wright tried to swat it back to the perimeter, but Bandu comes up with possession for the Rattlers.
I'd rather see more Blackjacks jerseys boxing out than one guy trying to swipe it back to his 3 guards outside the three-point line.
Corner three, and it's good. From DeMarcus Holland, he has 7, lead back to double digits, 29-19 Sask. Huge game for these two teams here tonight as Ottawa looks to book their ticket to the postseason. Louis, inside pass, Green, can't get it to fall. Wright crashing the boards, comes back out to Dre Gray with a fresh 14.
Saskatchewan's in a zone now, and Ottawa was passing quite a bit in that opening few seconds of the shot clock.
Gray from downtown, and Kadre Gray with his first points tonight. He hits from 3, 29-22 Saskatchewan.
If Saskatchewan is going to stay in this zone defensively, I'm hoping that Ottawa's going to be able to hit shots like that, but also be able to pass the ball the way they were moving it on the offensive end of the floor.
Into the low post, it's Daniels. Travis Daniels with 4 points, 31-22. Rattlers. Louis for Gray around the arc. Long three. Joseph hits it. He's got the range, and Chris Joseph on the board tonight. Lead back to 6.
If there's any way to pull a defense out of zone, it's to start hitting some threes.
31-25 Saskatchewan, under 7 to play, first half. Open three here, and good. No problem from Travis Daniels. He's got 7 points and a timeout called by Ottawa with a score 34-25. Saskatchewan. Media timeout is brought to you by Timeout with the Twins. It's a 9-point Saskatchewan lead. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, and CBC Sports, listening on TSN 1200 Ottawa.
Got a lot of shine. Running up the number, dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Big time. Big time. Big time. Big time. Try to take it from me.
Just one home game remains in the CEBL regular season for the Ottawa Blackjacks. Tickets on sale now for that special night, August 4th, 7 p.m. against the Guelph Nighthawks. Purchase your tickets online at theblackjacks.ca/tickets. AJ Jakubek, Hannah Sunley Paisley, Elias Elzane, 34-25. Saskatchewan, 6.5 to go. First half as Dominique Archie backs in, turnaround jumper, too strong. Tap back out by Ryan Wright on the offensive rebound. Into the corner, Kadre Gray hits it, 34-28 as Gray has 6 points. Holland inside, they kick it back out, and it's going to be an offensive foul against Saskatchewan as we head to the sidelines. Here's Elias Elzane. Elias.
Yeah, AJ, head coach Dubé Bray still not impressed with their defensive effort. Saskatchewan is a team that only averages 70 points per game, and they're already at 34. He wants his guys to pick it up defensively. It seems like every time Saskatchewan is down the floor, they're getting a bucket, and he is livid with the defense that they're playing. We'll see how they adjust. AJ?
Thanks, Elias. Second personal against DeAndre Bernard, so he's substituted. 6 minutes to go in the first half, and a 6-point Rattler lead. Cadogan for Chris Joseph. Works it to the left. Cadogan, open three, too strong. And a rebound defensively to Marcus Holland for Saskatchewan. Inside to Daniels in the low post, working against Wright. Turnaround jumper, in and out. Rebound, Kadre Gray for Ottawa. He'll run the floor. Looks to penetrate. Puts it up off the window and good from Kadre Gray. He's got 8. And the lead back to 4, 34-30 Rattlers.
Great controlled finish there by Kadre Gray, keeping the ball protected until the last second when he was going up for that layup.
Bandu's been the hot hand for Saskatchewan this half. Too strong with a 3. Rebound, Dominique Archie for Ottawa. As Cadogan drives. Dishes left corner. Joseph back out. Archie to Gray. 12 on the shot clock as we hit the midway point of this second quarter. Gray penetrates off the glass and good, and a timeout called by Saskatchewan as Kadre Gray with 10 points just like that. 34-32 Saskatchewan. Ottawa's climbed back in it after that early 11-0 deficit.
That was a great finish again by Kadre Gray. A very similar thing happened too. He was protecting the ball right until the last second, was able to get it up and around the defense off the glass for that finish there. A great job. But I think also something that I noticed, and Elias let us know, that Charles was not happy with their defense. And I think that the defensive issues are happening in the final seconds of the shot clock, or at the very least not the first 14 to 16 seconds. They're rotating very well there. But Saskatchewan is doing a great job to force rotations over and over and over again, and Ottawa's not doing as good of a job of keeping up with those rotations. So I think that's going to have to be a focus for Ottawa moving forwards.
Well, just great As they pan to shots of the crowd, just great to see and feel the energy of a crowd once again in Ottawa. Just the second game with fans since March of 2020. It's been a long time coming. We've got soccer games and football games coming up this summer, but the Blackjacks opening the door here for Ottawa sports and fans to come back into the building.
And it definitely makes a difference for the players too, as much as sometimes we might not want to admit that we really do need the fans. We need that sixth man cheering us on. It is so evident after watching these guys play without the fans to going back to having them, seeing that energy.
It's different in all sports. It really is. Night and day. Here's Taylor up top as Saskatchewan. Just a bounce back. Bandu pulls up the dribble. Gets it back to Osei. Drives with the left hand, no good. Rebound, Kadre Gray. Ahead to Junior Cadogan. Cross, Chris Joseph for the lead, and in and out, no good. Bandu with a rebound, Saskatchewan. There's Demostin. Penetrates. 10 on the shot clock. Osei guarded by Joseph. Pull up three and way off. That's an air ball. Goes out as we head to Elias Elzane. Elias.
Defense out there for his guys. It seems like both coaches are getting up on that. The Rattlers gave up 8 second chance points in that stretch there against the Blackjacks, and he wants more ball pressure against Gray. He's been able to get to the rim at will. Guys?
Thanks, Elias. As Ryan Wright down low, off the glass, and good. Came up again, but through the hoop. 34-34. We got a tie game. Ryan Wright with his first bucket.
A great post up by Ryan Wright. Great patience. Took a couple dribbles into the middle of the key. Felt where his defense was and went up strong.
Getting good minutes from Ryan Wright off the bench, and they need it with no Nick Ward.
Definitely an opportunity for him to step up.
9 on the shot clock for Saskatchewan. Nice penetration move and the finish from DeMarcus Holland. He's got 9. 36-34. Saskatchewan back in the lead.
Definitely Saskatchewan taking advantage of a defensive breakdown on Ottawa's part on that last layup.
The dish for Wright. The feed from Archie, and hands just failed him there, and he
one
knows
of those moments you look at your hands and you go, why? Why did you do that to me? We've all been there for sure.
3:15 to go first half. Saskatchewan 36, Ottawa 34. Blackjacks make the playoffs with a win. Bandu penetrates, kicks it back out. Osei into the right corner. Demostin for Bandu. Jumper short, no good. Cadogan leaves it for Kadre Gray on the rebound as Cadogan brings it up the floor. He'll drive. Layup, good. Junior Cadogan and Ottawa with their first. Well, they're tied 36-36. 2:42. I got ahead of myself there. I thought that was for the lead.
Maybe it was the crowd.
Yeah.
Hyped you up a little bit.
Nice bucket for Junior Cadogan. His first points here tonight. Driving baseline, Bandu turns it over. And inside, Wright has it for Ottawa. Now they've got a chance to take their first lead of the night. Penetration move, Kadre Gray, and it falls. 38-36 Blackjacks. Timeout Saskatchewan as Ottawa back in the lead for the first time tonight.
And forcing 2 timeouts in a quarter is a heck of a motivator. Being able to go on that run and having a team call a timeout with the goal of breaking your momentum, of breaking your run and not being successful at that is so motivating. Add into that we have 1,000 people here screaming like they're much more than that. It is definitely an energy turn for Ottawa, and that's what they're going to need to maintain for the rest of the game.
New to the CEBL this year is the launch of CEBL Plus, the official OTT platform filled with behind-the-scenes footage, a library of your favorite games, and never-before-seen action. Visit plus.cebl.ca. That's plus.cebl.ca, and you can sign up today. Reminder that coming up at the half, we'll see another great two-part CEBL Plus feature. Elias will speak with Rattlers head coach Connor Dow. Hannah will review her keys to the game, and we'll also take a look at the halftime stats. It's all coming up a little bit later on. Well, Saskatchewan, they know it's not quite desperation yet in terms of do or die, but at 1-9, they have to catch one of Guelph, Ottawa, or Fraser Valley. Not likely going to be Fraser Valley at 5-4, mathematically still there, but if they can win and match Guelph on 2 wins and get 1 win back of Ottawa with the tiebreaker as well, that's why this game's so important, because of the tiebreaker. So Saskatchewan with 2 minutes to go, first half. 4 on the shot clock. DeMoston for 3, and can't get the roll. Rebound defensively, it's Negus Webster-Chan. Cadogan for Archie, nice pass, but it's deflected out of bounds. Looking for Kadre Gray, and still 12 on the shot clock for Ottawa.
It was a great read, a great cut. It was just also great defense, getting a fingertip on that ball, getting it out of bounds. But that kind of reading and passing, that inside passing game is what Ottawa's going to need to maintain this lead and grow it.
Cadogan in for Kadre Gray. They haven't turned on the shot clock. Now that was a bit of a break for Ottawa, as it's stolen anyways by Saskatchewan. Holland dishes, layup, good. As it's finished on the inside by Daniels. Back to a tie game, 38-38.
I think down the stretch we're going to feel the loss of Nick Ward, if in nothing else, that Dominic Archie and Ryan Wright are not going to be able to have the same break that they usually get. They're both going to be playing more minutes tonight.
Ryan Wright jumper just beyond the free throw line, no good. Saskatchewan a chance to regain the lead. Diawara for 3 and too strong. Rebound, Dominique Archie. He'll run the floor. Archie for Kadre Gray. He'll set up the offense.
Ryan Wright had a monster seal on the inside there.
Webster-Chan for 3, and Negus Webster-Chan had some early misses, but back off the bench gives Ottawa a 41-38 lead.
Something that maybe people won't really recognize is because of that monster seal Ryan Wright had, him screaming wide open, drew the defender off of Webster-Chan and allowed him to have that open 3.
Holland. Back out Osei, the jumper, long 2, short. Webster-Chan rebound, shot clock off. Kadre Gray, he was going for showtime, and ball went one way and Dominique Archie went the other, and it's the turnover and a timeout called by Saskatchewan here with just a substitution. 17.4 seconds to go in the first half.
I think Kadre Gray thought that Dominique Archie was going to stay outside for that 3, and Dominique Archie was diving in for that layup. Unfortunate turnover, but so it goes sometimes.
So, shot clock off, game clock down to 10. Holland isolating against Junior Cadogan, around a screen for Holland. Now to Daniels, 3-point shot, and it's good from Travis Daniels as the horn sounds to end a very entertaining first half here at TD Place, 41-41. The score. And boy, we're in for some excitement here in the second half. If that first half was anything,
I think that something that's really incredible about this league, regardless of anybody's record, is that any team can beat anyone on any given day, and especially with the Elam on top of that, it makes it a very exciting season to watch.
Elias Elzane's going to be joined by Kadre Gray, and let's head to Elias Elzane right now. Elias.
They gave you guys the first blow of this game, but you guys were able to bounce back. What changed?
Man, we just had to pick it up. That's as simple as that, man. We were slow to start, but we got our fans, so we good.
All right. Yeah. Offensively, to continue the way you guys are doing? What has to continue in the second half?
Honestly, the game of basketball is all about getting defensive stops. And then, we got so many guys that are talented on offense, we'll take care of business.
Appreciate it, Kadre. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Kadre Gray with a team-high 12 points to lead the Ottawa Blackjacks, 41-41 the score heading into halftime. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, and CBC Sports, and listening on TSN 1200 Ottawa.
I ain't got no home, ain't got no shoes, ain't got no skirts, ain't got no sweater, ain't got no perfume, ain't got no bed, ain't got no mind. And what have I got? Nobody can take away. Got my hair, got my head, got my brains, got my ears, got my eyes, got my nose, got my mouth, I got my smile, I've got life, I got my freedom, I've got
Watch live games, exclusive features, highlights, interviews, and more only on CEBL Plus. Subscribe now for one low price.
Welcome back inside TD Place. AJ Jakubek, Hannah Sunley Paisley, Elias Elzane, and entertaining first half with the score 41-41. And I think, again, the Ottawa Blackjacks started to get some energy, not just from the crowd. We talked about that in the first half, but from their bench, right? Junior Cadogan,
Yes.
Ryan Wright, Alain Louis.
Absolutely.
So that's certainly an area where at times this year their bench has really been a big catalyst to what they have done in winning some of their home games, right, where they're 3-2 at home.
I think part of that is they have yet to have a very consistent starting lineup. With 10 games, I think only 5 players have played in every single game, and almost every game we have a different starting lineup. So that's definitely something that hopefully moving forwards they're going to be able to stabilize or at least consistently have points coming off the bench.
Halftime is next, 41-41 the score. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, CBC Sports, listening on TSN 1200 Ottawa.
The Snake Pit is back in business. Get your game tickets now via Ticketmaster and come watch live Saskatchewan Rattlers basketball at the SaskTel Center. Our game is back.
Shot goes up.
Bang going on the poster.
You have to find your voice.
It's been 20 years and I felt like I've never really worked a day in my life because I'm just doing what I love every day.
we also have a responsibility, being in the roles that we're in, to change the narrative and not just be angry and volatile, but to educate.
That was the first time that I actually stood up for myself and said, no, this is not right.
To have that visibility and for you to be paving the way for the next generation to come through, it's going to mean that less women have that same experience in a room full of men.
When you buy a lottery ticket in Saskatchewan, your money really goes a long way. More than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups receive funding from Sask Lotteries every year.
This week here on CEBL Weekly, we're bringing back the Awards Ladder, a segment where we take a look at an awards race around the CEBL and give you the top 5 contenders for the ultimate prize. This week, we're looking at the big one, Player of the Year in the CEBL. And yes, this has been the realm of Xavier Moon for the first 2 seasons of the league, and he's very much in the conversation once again, as we'll get to in a minute. But he may be facing tougher competition this year than he ever has. Let's dive into the 5 contenders for Player of the Year with just a couple weeks left in the season. The Guelph Nighthawks are still stuck on just 2 wins so far this season, but you have to give some love here in the 5 spot to Kat Barber, the import point guard, who's been doing everything for Guelph so far this year. He's one of just 3 players in the CEBL to rank in the top 5 in both points and assists. The other 2 we're going to get to in just a second here. He has to be in this conversation. Yes, you could look to Fraser Valley, for example, and pick one of Merritt Clausen or Alex Campbell to throw on this list, but that team is very much a sum of its parts type of squad, whereas Kat Barber has been the lead man for Guelph so far this year. If he continues to play the way he has, and he's really upticked in his playmaking recently, I think we could see Guelph finally string together some wins here, starting tonight in a huge game against Saskatchewan. At number 4, I have Javin Delorier of the surging Niagara River Lions, winners of 4 of their last 5 as one of the hottest teams in the league. Delorier is an everyman for this team. He's a fantastic defender, he's a wonderful athlete who makes his presence felt on both ends of the floor, and he's currently scoring at a pretty good clip as well. In his last 6 games, he's gotten to at least 15 points and 9 rebounds in each and every one of them, and he's done that while also being the league leader in rebounds and 3rd in blocked shots. He's not the leading scorer on this team, but without Javin Delorier, I'm not sure where the River Lions would be.
At Norgine Biotech, we are always ready to do our part. Your patience has enabled our scientists to develop asymptomatic testing solutions for you and the businesses that miss you. Together, we can bring our game back to Canada. Norgine Biotech, the official laboratory and partner of the CEBL.
Watch live games, exclusive features, highlights, interviews, and more only on CEBL Plus. Subscribe now for one low price.
Great coffee starts with high-quality, hand-picked beans. Our innovative sourcing model brings you coffee directly from a farmer's hand to your cup. At Road Coffee, our job is to bring coffee into that last stage before it's brewed. It's a pivotal part of the journey where we bring out the best flavors and discover the perfect roast for every coffee lover. We can't wait for you to try it. Welcome to a new era of coffee.
At number number 3, we have Nick Ward of the Ottawa Blackjacks, who had a bit of a tough start to the season, but has really been surging lately. He's currently top 5 in the league in points, rebounds, blocks, and field goal percentage, and he did himself a huge favor on Saturday on national television against Edmonton with 26 points in that huge victory to bring the Stingers' undefeated season to an end. Ward is the center of Ottawa's universe right now, and as they climb up the standings, it'll be on the back of their Michigan State alum. In second place, we have Lindell Wigginton, the top Canadian on the board, the only Canadian in the top 5, and he has been in the conversation for top spot on this list all season long. He's number 1 in the league in scoring. He's been a fantastic playmaker as well, a part of his game that wasn't really existent before arriving in Hamilton this season. And if not for a tough game on Thursday when Edmonton came into Hamilton and pulled off a huge blowout win, there's a very good chance Wigginton could have been number 1 here. He's been awesome and really is a shoo-in, it seems at this point, for at least the Canadian of the Year, and stands a very real chance with a strong finish of pulling off the awards double. And then at number 1, it's predictable at this point, but what are you going to do? Xavier Moon continues to be the best player in the CEBL. I won't lie, I was teetering last Thursday before Hamilton took on Edmonton at First Ontario Centre. I was ready to crown Lindell Wigginton the frontrunner for Player of the Year, but then Xavier Moon, after a pretty close and quiet first half, came out and scored 20 points in the third quarter alone to power Edmonton to that 36-point victory. He just does everything. He is all over the place on defense. He had 8 steals in that game on Thursday as well. He is number 1 until proven otherwise. There's not much else to say at this point. It's bloody impressive what he's done, and I really can't wait to see how Edmonton closes out this year and avenges that loss on Saturday to Ottawa. They've already got 1 win since then, 13-1, certainly on the table with Xavier Moon leading the way.
Welcome back inside TD Place. AJ Jakubek, Hannah Sunley Paisley, Elias Elzane as we have a 41-41 tie at halftime. 3.5 before we return to second half action. And Hannah, let's get to our keys to the game after we hear from the head coach of Saskatchewan, Connor Dow, in conversation with our Elias Elzane. Elias.
Coach, you guys were up 13 in that first half. What changed defensively to let them back in this game?
You know, it's credit to their guys. Cadre Gray, number 5, did a heck of a job of getting downhill and getting into the paint. And their guys, we know that they could shoot. They hit some shots.
And Gray specifically, you mentioned him. He had all of his 12 in that second quarter. What do you have to do to slow him down in the second half?
We just got to do a better job of staying in front of him.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
So time for our keys to the game, and we start with Ottawa once again, Hannah, and they're presented by MindLock Mental Training.
For Ottawa, number 1, ball pressure. They have been doing a solid job. I think it could be better, but if we're talking specifically 3-point percentage for Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan's hovering around 33% right now, and that's acceptable if nothing else. The inside-out game, they were able to get to that, especially on that attacks, as Coach Dow said. And offensive rebounds, I think I will never be happy with Ottawa's offensive rebounds, but maybe I'm just a snob for that. They're sitting with 4 right now. They could have had a few more opportunities for it, and rebounding is really it's effort, it's not skill. So I think if they really want it coming down the stretch, they'll get there.
How about the keys to victory for Saskatchewan?
Their team D in the paint was mainly a focus that I saw them working on for Nick Ward, who was not in the game, and the post who's played the most minutes, Dominic Archie, has been scoring from all over the floor. So yes, their defense has been present, but the person they were prepping for isn't there. Finding open scorers. Their assist to turnover ratio right now, 9-3. It's looking pretty good, but I think that when they're coming down the stretch for this third point, pushing the pace, they are finding each other when they are pushing that pace, when they are moving fast. So those two things kind of go hand in hand, and is part of the reason why they lost their lead. They were slowed down a little bit by Ottawa, but if moving forward they're able to get that pace they had in the first quarter again, they will start to build a lead.
Let's have a look at the halftime stats. They're presented by BetCris. Tie game and pretty even statistics as well. Ottawa with a slight edge from beyond the arc. Haven't been to the line yet, and I think when you're missing Nick Ward, right? I mean, he set a CEBL high this season, went to the line 13 times in that 2-point loss against Niagara when he had a franchise record 28 points, but not even one free throw attempt in the first half. I think that is a big reason why with no Nick Ward.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, too, it was only later in the game that those attacks were really happening. And that is what we're going to need to see more of if they're going to get to the line, is those strong takes.
Leading the way scoring-wise for Saskatchewan, Travis Daniels with 14, Devontae Bandu with 12, Kadre Gray with 12 for Ottawa, and Dominique Archie also in double digits with 10. Gray also has 6 rebounds and 1 assist, while DeMarcus Holland has 7 points and 5 assists, leading all players in that department for Saskatchewan.
Kadre is the second leading rebounder after Nick Ward, so it's good to see that he's picking up a little bit of slack there without the big man inside.
Set to go here in the third quarter. Rattlers in their green uniforms, the golden wheat and the white, as it's worked inside, and the layup is good from DeAndre Bernard. He's got 7, 43-41 Rattlers. Certainly Ottawa needs a better start than what we saw in half number 1, where they got down 11-0 and trailed by as many as 13 in that first quarter. Dominique Archie, long 3 with a foot on the line, no good. And it's rebounded right to Ryan Wright inside. Layup good. Ryan Wright, 4 points. Tie ball game, 43-43.
Great patience by Ryan Wright there, just taking his time to make that layup, knowing he had a couple defenders around him.
Blackjacks wearing their home red and white shirts with the red shorts. As the bucket is good inside from DeAndre Bernard. He's got 9, and Saskatchewan back in the lead by 2.
Great read moving around the defense there. Dominic Archie was there, but wasn't staying square, was attacking more than protecting that basket.
Tyrell Green in the corner, works it inside in the post. Ryan Wright backing in, turnaround jumper, gets the roll. Ryan Wright with 6. Back tied at 45.
It's a great little score to the middle there. I think when we see a post playing that kind of fundamental basketball, he's going to open up opportunities for himself moving forwards. I think that baseline spin will be open the next play.
Holland stripped by Wright as he brings it defensively as well. Alain Louis, left-handed layup and good from Alain Louis, and Ottawa back in the lead by 2, 47-45.
What an impact from this U Sport player that we've seen over the season. I think that it's so great that this league has this opportunity for these younger kids to be able to come in and then go back to university and play.
As Saskatchewan works it into the low post. And the shot off the glass and good from Travis Daniels.
I'm seeing a lot of patient post play, the same thing from Travis Daniels there, and I think the coach wanted a foul on that play, and that might be a contributing factor to why Ottawa's not getting to the line. I don't think the rest are calling it much.
16 for Daniels, and now a steal. Holland into the corner. Three-pointer is short from Osei, and it goes out of bounds. Ottawa ball tied 47-47, 2.5 minutes into this second half. Norgen Biotech is the official test provider of the CEBL, helping players, coaches, staff, and partners stay ahead of the pandemic. Norgen Biotech. The Blackjacks work it into Kadre Gray off the glass and good. Saskatchewan, the bench, thinking that he took one too many steps, but Gray makes it a 2-point Ottawa lead.
I think it was just a couple really slow steps.
49-47, and the jumper is short. Here from Holland as Ottawa brings it up the floor. Webster Chan to Gray, fake the long three, gets it to Alain Louis. Penetrates, kicks it back out, works it inside. Archie for Ryan Wright, who's heating up on the inside. He's got 8, 4-point Ottawa lead, 51-47.
I don't think we've seen this kind of play from Ryan Wright so far this season. The absence of Nick Ward has really opened up this opportunity for him, and he's doing a great job of taking advantage, sealing under the basket.
It's that next man up mentality, right?
Absolutely.
Someone's going to get an opportunity. It's about seizing it.
Yes, for sure. And he's playing great fundamental basketball, too. This is the kind of, if I sound like I'm nerding out over it, it's because I am. This is definitely the kind of basketball I played, finding the seal down low, like taking control of the player as early in possession as possible and calling for the ball, making that fundamental 2 dribbles, read, making that play.
2 on the shot clock. Holland doesn't realize it, and it's a shot clock violation against the Rattlers. So a 4-point Ottawa lead, 6:19 to go third quarter, and the Blackjacks in possession up 51-47.
That's an unforced error that as a coach and as a player, I'd probably be looking, well, maybe not as a coach, but as a player, I'd definitely be looking at my bench being like, guys, we could have used some help there.
Alain Louis for Ryan Wright. Works it back into the low post. Double team. Puts it up and good as Ryan Wright hits double figures. He's got 10. 53-47 Ottawa.
I think part of the reason Saskatchewan is struggling with this is because it's a different style of post play than Nick Ward. And they were preparing for one thing and they are getting another. And Ryan Wright is doing a great job of executing.
Bandu open 3 and too strong. Negus Webster-Chan with a rebound for the Blackjacks.
And a great box out by Alain Louis, which was the only reason Travis Daniels did not come down with that rebound.
Louis the drive in the layup and a timeout Saskatchewan as Alain Louis with 8 points makes it an 8-point Ottawa lead, 55-47 the score. Third quarter media timeout is brought to you by Grow Personal Development. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, CBC Sports, listing on TSN 1200 Ottawa.
The coronavirus has brought the entire sports world to an abrupt halt.
Get your preparations ready for possibly playing with no fans.
We ain't dead.
My stepdad was murdered, a hate crime.
There's no reason why whatever your goals are, you can't attain them.
It's our game.
Watch this feature and other on-demand content exclusively on CEBL Plus, the best place to experience our game. Subscribe now.
Ottawa Embassy Hotel and Suites. Stylish, spacious, and fully redesigned. All the space you'll need to rest and refresh for work or play. Including creative dining at Cooper's. Steps to everything Ottawa has to offer. Proud partner of the Ottawa Blackjacks.
New Era is the official merchandise provider of the CEBL. Get this latest Blackjacks and Rattlers gear by visiting the online store at cebl.ca. AJ Jakubek, Hannah Sunley Paisley, Elias L. Zane, a sellout crowd of 1,000 people inside TD Place this evening. And the Ottawa Blackjacks down 13 early, taking control of this contest in the third quarter, but still a lot of work to do. 55-47, 5.5 to go in the third quarter as Bandu penetrates. The little leaner off the glass is good. Bandu makes it a 6-point game.
Great read going up early there, seeing the help defender and going straight up, finishing high off the glass.
14 points for Gavante Bandu. 30 of the 49 scored by Bandu and Travis Daniels for Saskatchewan. 13 on the shot clock. It's Negus Webster-Chan for Dominique Archie. Got in the air and got caught no man's land. Bandu the other way. Little entry pass, but they kick it back out and set up the offense. In the corner, 3-point shot is good, and it's Devontae Bandu making this a 3-point game. That's 5 straight points out of the timeout. The layup no good at the other end, and chance to tie with a 3 or cut this down to 1, and they stepped on the line from the corner. Break Ottawa as Diawara caught the baseline.
Saskatchewan is moving with the speed that they were a little bit more, that they were in the first quarter when they were most successful. I think that usually Ottawa has a breakdown at this point in the third quarter, but they also usually start the game very well. So I'm interested to see how they as a team are able to manage this new kind of dynamic that they're having at home right now.
Junior Cadogan checks in, and certainly he provided a lot of energy and spark in the first half as a layup up and good from DeMarcus Holland. And Saskatchewan cuts this lead back to 1, 55-54.
And the refs really letting them play, really not calling much at all.
Travel against Dominique Archie, and the Rattlers now with a chance to take the lead. It's back and forth here in Ottawa tonight.
We've seen two of the exact same turnovers with the exact same players. The inside pass from Dominic Archie to the back door, cutting Kadre Gray, and I think like they were both bounce passes. It was exactly the same. And I think this is one of Ottawa's weaknesses. They're not adjusting fast enough to things that are happening. Often I say it's the refs that they're not adjusting to, but here, like, that play is working. Kadre is open, but the ball needs to go up instead of down. It needs to go up towards the rim so he can catch it in the air.
Well, you can see what's on the line here tonight. A playoff berth for the Ottawa Blackjacks. Chance to go to 4-7. 6 of the 7 teams make it, and they would have the tiebreak over Saskatchewan, or a 1-9, but getting better as the season has progressed after a very slow start, finding their way in this CEBL season. The winners of the inaugural campaign in 2019, but
yes,
boy, what a win this would be if they could tie Guelph and have the tiebreaker against Ottawa being just one game back of the Blackjacks.
I think for either team it's going to be a huge momentum swing. If Ottawa wins this, they're going into a week of practice with some new players and another game at home. If Saskatchewan wins this, they're able to like win 2 out of their last 3 and push towards this version of their season that they actually wanted, right? Nobody wants to start 0-7, and this is a huge opportunity for them.
Rattlers work it in as they bring it up the floor with under 4 to play third quarter, 55-54 Ottawa. And a travel against Saskatchewan as we head to Elias Elzane. Elias.
Yeah, head coach Dubé Bray wasn't happy at all with those turnovers that led to 5 quick points the other way for Saskatchewan, and he wants his team to gang rebound. They need to get on the defensive glass and limit them to 1 opportunity, guys.
Cadogan. Here's a penetration move, and Alain Louis finishes, and it's a 57-54 Ottawa lead.
What an athletic finish there.
And the reverse lay-in, no good at the other end from Bernard. They kick it back out, open 3. Bandu, short. That was to tie it. And a rebound, Dominique Archie for Ottawa as they run the floor. Alain Louis again kicks it back out. Webster Chan, and can't get it to fall from beyond the arc. In and out. Would have made it a 6-point game. Diawara penetrates and hits it on the layup. Diawara with his first points tonight, back to a 1-point Ottawa lead.
Great recognition by him, seeing that the help defense was nowhere in sight and he could get past his own defender for that layup.
Dre Gray with 14 on the shot clock. They work it around for Webster Chan. Interior pass on the pick and roll. Couldn't connect with Archie. Back to Holland for Saskatchewan.
I don't think that bounce pass had been successful all game. I have not seen that work one time. That ball should be in the air, not on the ground.
Little leader from Bandu doesn't fall and goes out for Blackjacks ball. 2:44 to go, third quarter. 57-56 Ottawa. And this one seems like it's destined for a close Elam finish.
It's because they like to stress me out. That's probably why.
I'm pretty sure it has
nothing to do with me?
Well, maybe 5%.
I think you're probably overestimating
2%?
that 5% there. I'm going for a hard 0. I'm just whining.
Cadogan hard pass slipped through the hands of Kadre Gray and turnover Ottawa.
The difference with fans in the stands is that when I'm freaking out in a close game, nobody can see me normally. Now there's 1,000 people who might see me losing it while we're calling this game.
Just wait till next year.
Maybe I'll be more composed then.
Taylor is Saskatchewan again, can take the lead. Turnover. Oh, they get it back. Diawara from downtown, in and out. And a rebound, Webster Chan.
The refs are really letting them play. There's not a ton of foul calls happening. Whoa.
And that's a foul on Alain Louis for sure as he was driving the lane.
I'm surprised that's not an intentional foul.
First free throw of the game as we head back to Elias Elzane. Elias.
Yeah, guys. This is the first free throws coming here from Alain Louis, and we know that Nick Ward gets to the line a ton for the Blackjacks. So obviously, his presence down low is being felt and missed because he gets to the line quite a few times. But third quarter, and Louis makes the first free throw. AJ.
Thanks, Elias. Yeah, 1 for 1. He's got 11 points.
We can hear the lone Saskatchewan fan in the crowd.
2 for 2 for Alain Louis and the Blackjacks tonight. 3-point Ottawa lead as Earl Calloway checks in to replace Cadre Gray. 59-56 Blackjacks. Saskatchewan bringing it up the floor. Holland. Diawara penetrates, puts it up, blocking foul.
Maybe
and it's against Alain Louis.
Maybe the refs heard me chirping them, saying they weren't calling enough fouls, and now they want to start calling some fouls. Again, probably not about me, but throwing it out there.
Well, the one thing, they would probably hear you better the first 3 games.
Ah, that's true, yeah. Now with the fans, it's not a chance. I can't chirp them either.
Diawara misses the first of 2 free throws, the former Calgary Dino. Last played in Helsinki with the Seagulls. As Diawara hits the second.
One thing of note, usually Ottawa is averaging 12 shots less a game, 12 field goals less a game. And I was talking to Charles Dubé-Bray about it before the game, and he was saying that that's likely a direct result in part of free throws and Nick getting to the line. And we're not, as we said, we're not seeing that as much today.
Crossover dribble from Junior Cadogan, just couldn't finish. 59-57 Ottawa. And that's a charge against Holland of Saskatchewan.
Great defensive play by Dominic Archie. An on-ball charge is one of the harder things to do, but he was able to move his feet, take that contact square in his chest, and fall. Great defensive play and a huge energy booster for a team.
Down to 1:35 to go third quarter. 59-57 Ottawa. In comes sharpshooting Chris Joseph for Junior Cadogan for Ottawa. Joseph works it into Alain Louis.
And some full court pressure.
From DeMoston, but Louis breaks it. Trying to cut into the lane. Turns it over. DeMoston for Saskatchewan. They'll set up the offense. Bandu. Up top, Diawara. Drives off the glass and good from Mambi Diawara. He's got 5 points all in this third quarter, and we're tied 59-59.
A great take. Oh, we just have a tip out there.
Minute to go here in quarter 3. And the fans here at TD Place, all 1,000 of them, a sellout here tonight. Treated to another great game as Earl Calloway called for a walk. Saskatchewan ball.
Alain Louis, I think he thought he got fouled on that first tip out and trying to get the ball back to Earl wide open, Earl Calloway, but he was still out of bounds, so he was rushing. I think it might have even been an out of bounds call.
Yeah, just out of bounds. As the layup is good here from DeMarcus Holland, and Saskatchewan back in the lead, 61-59. There's Calloway bringing it up the floor for Ottawa now to Dominique Archie up top. Calloway to an open Chris Joseph for 3, and it's short. Battling for the rebound inside, Dominique Archie goes out of bounds. It will be Saskatchewan ball.
Yeah.
Daniels and Gray back in for their respective teams. And Saskatchewan will inbound. Up to 8-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Pressure on the ball from Kadre Gray. Holland. Bandu. 4 on the shot clock. Pull-up jumper and doesn't get the roll. Offensive rebound, though, and they can't finish inside Daniels. Here's Callaway ahead to Kadre Gray. At the buzzer, deep three, and that would have been a logo three there from Kadre Gray. Doesn't fall short. 61-59. Saskatchewan leads. Fourth quarter action coming up next. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, and CBC Sports, listening on TSN 1200 Ottawa.
Rebound grab by Bell Haynes. He's out on the run. They have numbers. Trey Bell Haynes for the win. He does it. Trey Bell Haynes keeps the win alive.
Get the job done on defense, and there's Baker. No way. Jordan Baker does it again.
Both teams win.
Oluwaseun. That's a tough bucket. And Xavier moves. Who else would end this game but Xavier moves?
Welcome back inside TD Place. Cello crowd of 1,000 here tonight. Second game with fans in the nation's capital. And we've got a dandy with Saskatchewan leading Ottawa 61-59. A Blackjacks win, and they clinch a berth in the playoffs as they work it inside. Here's Dominique Archie in the low post and called for the push-off. Second time that's happened against Archie on the offensive end. Turnover here for the Blackjacks.
I think that was a good call. You can see he's going so strong to the middle. Dominic Archie definitely, I mean, in my opinion, should have drop-stepped and finished wide open to the baseline instead of forcing his way into the middle of the key when there was a defender.
Said to Elias Elzane. Elias.
Yeah, the theme tonight, guys, for head coach Dubé Bray has been defense. He does not like what he's seeing from his guys. Thinks that Saskatchewan's getting to the rim too easily, especially on the right side. So we'll see how the guys adjust here in quarter number 4 heading to Elam time.
Travis Daniels from downtown, and it's a 5-point Saskatchewan lead, 64-59. Open three, Cadogan. Decides to penetrate instead, kicks it back out. Tyrell Green doesn't fall from downtown. Rebounds Saskatchewan, and they'll bring it up the floor through DeMoston. Off that board from Travis Daniels. 9 minutes to play. On a 5-point Rattler lead. As they kick it back out. Good ball movement. Diawara steps up. 17-footer, no good.
That was a weird possession. There was a wide open layup, a wide open three.
Running the floor is Junior Cadogan. Left-handed layup good. And the foul, chance at a 3-point play. Well, this is crunch time. He was outstanding down the stretch in that win. The only loss this year for the Edmonton Stingers.
Yes.
Cadogan hits from the charity stripe, 64-62. Saskatchewan been back and forth throughout most of the night. Saskatchewan led by as many as 13 in the first quarter. Ottawa led by as many as 8 in quarter 3. Holland fakes the jumper as Archie looks to steal and stepped on the line. 3 in the shot clock for the Rattlers.
The stat that stood out most to me is that in the first quarter, Ottawa had 3 turnovers. In the second, they had 3. And in the third, they had 8 turnovers. This is something they're definitely going to need to limit, especially once we get into Elam time.
Off the inbound. Osei puts it up and no good. As no shot clock violation. It went into the hands of Earl Calloway beforehand. Ottawa with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. Kadre Gray drives, dishes to Junior Cadogan, and he stepped on the line. The turnover for the Blackjacks. Both the Rattlers and Blackjacks will get some time off before their next game. Saskatchewan travels to Edmonton August 2nd to take on the Stingers. Coverage begins at 7 Central. Ottawa plays their last home game of the season August 4th against Guelph, 7 Eastern at TD Place. 8 on the shot clock for Saskatchewan. Penetration move, and the dish goes off an Ottawa player last. This pass was intended for Daniels by Bernard. 6 on the shot clock for Saskatchewan. Off the inbound, Ryan Wright gets a hand to it, and the steal. Open floor, Calloway, layup, good. Earl Calloway, tie game, 64-64.
A great steal, and could have been an iffy foul potentially in another game, but that was a great adjustment by Ryan, knowing that the refs are letting them play a little bit more and going for that steal and finding Calloway on the breakaway.
Bandu with 8 on the shot clock up top for the Rattlers. Turns it over. Here's Kadre Gray, puts it up. Oh, a forceful block on the inside by Bernard. 14 on the shot clock. Cadogan with a penetration move, no good. Goes after the rebound. It's loose on the floor. They're battling hard here tonight, but the Rattlers come up with it. They run the floor. Bandu, oh, we've got an offensive foul against Saskatchewan. And this is against DeMarcus Holland.
Great hustle by both teams. We can feel how much both of these teams wanted, and we're seeing that Junior Cadogan got tangled up with Kemi Osei on one end of the floor as the play went to the other. But I think that, both teams are diving on the floor. What we need from both teams right now is for them to play a little bit smarter. Kadre Gray on that last attack definitely should have kicked out the ball. His 2 teammates should have spaced more, and it's little reads like that that are going to be the difference for this team.
Tie game, under 7 to play. Ottawa in possession with 13 on the shot clock, and there's a player down.
He just slipped,
inside.
I think.
That's Dominique Archie. Hopefully he's going to be okay. They already lost Nick Ward in warm-up tonight to a foot injury.
Yeah, I think that was the same spot Osei and Cadogan were tied up, probably a little slippery there.
And it looks like he'll walk it off. That's good news if you're a Blackjacks fan.
Absolutely.
Can't afford to lose another player who can play in the paint.
Yes, he's been doing a great job. He's got 10 points, only 3 boards, but it really feels like he's been doing more than that. His impact from day one, as soon as he got here, taking a little pressure off of Nick Ward and really making a difference in the team. And Ryan Wright is sitting with 12, also with 3 offensive boards. Kadre Gray is leading with 6 right now, with the exception of what's happened so far in this quarter. I'm looking at third quarter stats here, but I think in general, rebounding has been something that this team struggles with, and because they're also struggling with defensive transition, it leads them to leak out a little bit early there. But in this home stretch, rebounding is going to be what they need. In the third quarter, they were leading the rebounding battle by 6, and hopefully that's something they'll be able to maintain.
Well, this is in the summer. It's an old building, 1967, 54 years old, and they're looking to replace it along with the north side stands here in Ottawa at TD Place and Lansdowne. And part of the reason is in the summer it's
the floor sweats.
Yes, there's moisture issues at times, and probably not as pronounced when you talk about no fans.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot warmer in here tonight with even 1,000 fans.
Absolutely, absolutely. And all 1,000 of them seem to be making some noise with their cowbells as Ottawa is trying to build on the momentum.
Archie stays in the game, but a turnover here, and it's Saskatchewan ball. 6:41 to go, and a tie ball game, 64-64. An Ottawa win seals a playoff berth. The Saskatchewan win, and it's probably a three-way battle for the last spot between Saskatchewan, Ottawa, and Guelph.
A little offensive miscommunication here by Saskatchewan.
Daniels. Now to Osei. 5 on the shot clock. Skip pass. Tomastin with a jumper at the buzzer. No good. And Cadogan comes up with the ball for Ottawa. Archie to Junior Cadogan. Kadre Gray. Double teamed and turns it over. As Tomastin hits Osei in stride, and he'll slow down and set up the Rattlers offense. Bernard open three off the glass and then off the rim, no good. Rebound Ryan Wright. Ed Cadogan penetrates, puts it up, and too strong as Saskatchewan looks to run the floor the other way. Osei, open three, and too strong. Offensive rebound, Holland, as they work it inside, and a foul by Ryan Wright. A hard foul on DeAndre Bernard. That would have been an easy bucket, and Ryan Wright did his best to ensure that it wasn't easy. 2 shots coming up for DeAndre Bernard.
This version of the Ottawa Blackjacks that we're seeing right now, the team that is over-dribbling more than usual, the team that is attacking and not looking for their teammates, is usually one that we see at some tough point in the third quarter when things start to break down. We're seeing it a little bit later right now, but this is a version of themselves that they will have to get out of if they want to be successful in this game, because they are at their best when they are sharing the ball, when they are attacking and kicking and looking for each other. And we have not seen that in the last few possessions.
First of 2 free throws here for DeAndre Bernard. Can't hit the second. The tap back, no good, and it's a 1-point. Saskatchewan lead, 65-64. Getting close to Elam time. We'll explain that here in a moment. Kadre Gray, down the arc, Dominique Archie. Cadogan into the low post for Archie. Puts up the shot, no good. Gets his own rebound. Layup good. Dominique Archie, Ottawa back in the lead, 66-65.
Defense in this last minute before Elam becomes extremely important. Ottawa has had some communication breakdowns late in the shot clock, but Saskatchewan has been getting a few violations recently too.
A 1-point Ottawa lead, 6 on the shot clock for the Rattlers. The three-pointer no good here from distance as Cadogan gets the rebound ahead. Dominique Archie from downtown, and it's a 4-point Ottawa lead. Dominique Archie makes it 69-65 Blackjacks.
And that shot happened because of boxing out on defense. They got the boards, they pushed the pace, they got that 3.
Diawara for Bandu. Spins into the lane. Dishes. Bernard puts it up and home. DeAndre Bernard back to a 2-point ball game, 69-67 Ottawa.
And Coach Dow wanting a foul on that last play, but as I've been saying all night, the refs have really been letting the guys go.
Archie, the go-to guy, here in the fourth, and the layup is good. Lead back to 4, 71-67. Bandu for 3, short, and Gray with the rebound. Sorry, Hannah.
I was just saying Saskatchewan really wanted that 3. They want the score to be as close as possible going into Elam, giving themselves the best chance to get this win, because the next stoppage in play, we are moving into Elam time.
Yeah, it's a 4-point Ottawa lead. As they work into the low post, Dominic Archie, baseline jumper, hits it, Dominic Archie, and fuego! 73-67 Blackjacks. And it's been all Dominic Archie here in the fourth. And a foul, I think intentional there from Alain Louis.
Coach Dubé Bray was telling him to foul. He wants to go into this Elam leading by 6.
6-point Ottawa lead heading into Elam time. We'll explain that when we come back. Media timeout brought to you by BitBuy, official cryptocurrency platform of the CEBL.
Watch every CEBL game live for absolutely free in Canada on CEBL Plus, the best place to experience our game. Subscribe now.
AJ Jakubek, Hannah Sunley Paisley, Elias Elzane, entertaining contest here tonight. Blackjacks trying to clinch a playoff spot. They lead Saskatchewan 73-67 as we head into Elam time. Here's Elias Elzane. Elias.
Yeah, AJ, you mentioned a win gets you to the postseason, so we'll see if the Blackjacks can pull it off in Elam. We know that Gray hit free throws to win it, Cadogan as well, and he had that big runner against Edmonton. On the other side for Saskatchewan, it's Osei on a 3 against Guelph in what was a thriller a couple of days ago. So we'll see how this one wraps up. Back to you guys.
Layup no good here from DeMarcus Holland. 73-67 Ottawa. Target score 9 beyond whoever's leading, so 82 the target score tonight. As it's swatted out of bounds, it will be Ottawa ball.
And it's that kind of attack, not looking to his teammates, that I'm hoping Ottawa will be limiting for the remainder of this Elam time. We've seen them break down in Elam when there's a lead and kind of give up points because they think it's going to be easy.
Going the other way after a mini conference. So Saskatchewan ball. 6-point Ottawa lead. Corner 3, no good. From Bandu, and a rebound Ottawa.
I don't think I've ever seen them box out so much in my life. I'm so happy.
Cadogan. Spoken like a true post player right there.
I'll be happier when they get this win.
Archie to Cadogan into the low post. Ryan Wright, and he's fouled by Bandu.
And what a post up in the middle of the key by Ryan Wright. It was a great job sealing his players. He drew 2 players, actually. I think we're seeing that on the replay there. A second person came down, and had he had another moment, I mean, without the foul, he would have had an open 3 in the corner there.
Not a lot of fouls, so not into the bonus yet. Just banked off a Rattler out for their inbound.
It's kind of crazy how much the refs are letting them play. Like, there was a lot of action going on in that last couple seconds under the basket there.
Nick Ward would have loved to play in this is Big Ten type refereeing here this evening. Oh, a steal, but they call a foul against Mambi Diawara.
I don't know if this, there have been more fouls in the last couple minutes then, or at least the rate of fouls then all game. And I mean, I don't know if the guys are getting more aggressive or the refs are changing the way they're calling the game, but I think that's I really hope it's not the refs. That's definitely something that they need as refs to be consistent, especially in Elam.
So next foul sends the Blackjacks to the line in the bonus. Here's inside Archie, 5 on the shot clock, back out. Alain Louis kicks it back out. Cadogan for 3, and he hits it. Junior Cadogan, 76-67 Ottawa.
They're always better when they're passing the ball, moving the ball, attacking, and kicking. It's the one-on-one game that is going to kill them through this Elam. They need to keep moving that ball.
And some good defense here as Ryan Wright gains possession. 6 points away from victory, 76-67, Ottawa leads. Target score is 82. Here's Dominique Archie, up top for the Blackjacks. Down low to Ryan Wright, backs in, turnaround jumper, no good.
Caught the ball a little further away than he has been this game, and that was shown in the short.
Diawara for 3, and that doesn't fall. Rebound, Dominique Archie, Ottawa running the floor. Kadre Gray, he'll penetrate, puts it up, and good, and the foul. Circus shot, Kadre Gray heads to the line for a chance at 3.
What a great finish under control there. Got hit and was still able to maneuver his body around to get the ball off of the glass. See this attack here, switched hands while he was in the air and got it off the glass in.
16 points for Kadre Gray. And this free throw can cut the points needed to 3, but he misses. So it's 78-67, Ottawa. Target score is 82. And Saskatchewan drives the lane, and the shot no good from Osei. Rebound, Archie.
We have really seen a different Saskatchewan team in this Elam ending. They are not playing to the level that they were working on all game.
Gray spins, no good, but Wright can't find the offensive rebound. Back come the Rattlers, and this one is up and good at the chance at three-point play here from DeMarcus Holland. He's got 15, and a big bucket there to cut this lead down to 9, and free throw makes it an 8-point ball game.
Great attack, stepping around his defender there, stretching his arm out way forward. He was a little far away from the basket, but able to finish soft off the glass.
Crowd trying to interfere with Holland, and he can't finish.
Looked like he said the ball was wet, and the refs just ignored him.
So 78-69, Ottawa. 4 points away from victory. Cadogan penetrates, dishes Tyrell Green. Back out Cadogan. 7 on the shot clock. Pick and roll with Ryan Wright off the glass. No good, but draws the foul, and Ryan Wright will shoot 2.
Something that this Ottawa team does a lot that bugs me is they get the ball and immediately start to dribble without looking around. And Cadogan did that in that last possession. Luckily, they were able to work the ball in to find Ryan Wright, and he was able to get a good shot up. But I think moving forwards after this game, and this game as well, I'm hoping that will be top of mind for them to kind of limit their dribbles in these more difficult situations.
Well, Ryan Wright not great at the line this year, just 35%, misses the first. This would be a big one, could make it a one-possession game in the sense that one possession away from victory. 78-69. Blackjacks. Target score 82. Second free throw from Wright, again too strong. But the rebound tap back to Dominique Archie by Alain Louis. So Ottawa will get another crack here on this possession. Cadogan for Louis, drives, left-handed layup is good. Alain Louis makes it 80-69. Blackjacks 2 points away from victory.
Great attack by Alain Louis. And a timeout is being called. Dominic Archie was also wide open on the opposite three-point line, but Alain Louis saw light to the basket. He took it, and he has been a player who's so consistently really been able to just put his head down and get to the basket, almost regardless of the size of the guy he's going against, as we saw in the first quarter, getting somebody much larger than himself off of his feet so that he could go up for that layup. And he's really been just like a spark plug for this team in so many moments when they really need it.
Well, they have had contributions offensively from a number of different players. Dominique Garcia is 19, Kadre Gray 16, 14 for Alain Louis, 12 from Ryan Wright. So it's been spread around the offense for this Blackjacks team, and that's one big reason why they're 2 points away from clinching a playoff spot.
And Nick not being in the lineup, everybody did their job to step up and make sure that they were getting offensive and defensive rebounds. Like I said earlier, I don't think I've ever seen them box out this consistently. But I think maybe knowing that Nick wasn't there, those 10 boards were going to be left on the floor for Saskatchewan to get if they didn't do that work early, has really put them in a mindset, and also this being a win and in game, has really put them in a hungry mindset to chase every rebound. And I love it.
Just loving the atmosphere and even loving the Bee Gees right now. Staying alive. Both these teams trying to stay alive in the playoff chase, with Ottawa 3-7 in 5th, Saskatchewan 7th at 1-9, and one team will miss the playoffs. If Ottawa wins, it's down to Guelph and Sask for that last spot. Osei, inside pass, and Kadre Gray able to get it back. 2 points away from victory.
Really
here
risky
for Ottawa.
Really risky to save in your own end, but that was some great help on the post down low.
Chance to win it in this possession. Louis for Gray. 11 on the shot clock. Alain Louis penetrates, and the block there from Diawara, as Diawara brings it up the floor for Saskatchewan. Osei plays it inside, turnaround jumper off the glass, no good. And again, another chance off that rebound for Ryan Wright for Ottawa to win it with a 2 or a 3.
They need some composure on this play here. They don't need to do anything fancy, just play good basketball as they've been doing.
Here's Kadre Gray into the lane. Layup is good, and Kadre Gray calls game. It's 82-69. Ottawa wins it, and the Blackjacks are headed to the postseason as they clinch a playoff berth along with Fraser Valley.
It was a great finish by Kadre Gray. His team spaced the floor, and he was able to find light and attack. He, just like Alain Louis, has so often been able to find light to the basket, force his way in there, and get a score. And today he was the Elam winner.
Well, big Tuesday night doubleheader finishes a run of 10 CEBL games in 9 nights as Hamilton travels to the Royal City to take on Guelph. That's followed by round 2 of Edmonton at Fraser Valley. All the coverage begins on CBC Gem and CEBL Plus at 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. What a game tonight, Hannah Sunley-Paisley.
It was, I mean, after that start, too, they really did a great job of actually doing something that I've criticized them for, not doing something that I've criticized them for before. It's when it's tough, they kind of break down. But they did a great job early on. When it was tough, that they came together and were able to change the pace of the game to something that was their advantage. And Saskatchewan really was pushing the pace in the beginning. And I think that if that pace had been maintained, Ottawa would not have walked away with this win. But because they were able to maintain their composure, they were able to get there in the end, chip away at that early lead Saskatchewan had, and push ahead down the stretch.
It's a different team. Home and away, 4-2 at home for Ottawa, 0-5 away from home, and that's something they can work on going forward.
And now they have a week or so of
August
practice
4th.
Before their next game.
All right, Dominique Garcia is with our Elias Elzane. 19 points for the big man here today. And Elias, over to you.
Dominique, you guys were down early in this game. You were able to come away with the win. You got the news of Nick Ward being out. Just talk about how you guys had to adjust and you personally down low without Nick.
I mean, the adjustment wasn't that big of a thing. Like, we just wasn't playing like I said at the beginning. But once we got into our groove and started playing like the team we are, we were able to like close the gap.
You guys win tonight. You guys clinch a playoff berth. How does that feel?
I mean, playoff berth is kind of a like mid-level goal. Like the goal is on the 22nd, so we are trying to work for that.
And you guys get a whole week off now before getting Guelph in a home-and-home. How important are the next 2 games?
I mean, the week off is good because we have some time to work in our chemistry. We got some new guys we got to fit in, so it kind of gives us a advantage going into the next game.
Appreciate it, Don. Thanks.
There's Dominique Archie with 19 points in this victory for the Ottawa Blackjacks tonight, clinching a playoff spot, now 4-7 after an 82-69 win over the Saskatchewan Rattlers. So a lot of adversity, I think, for this team. I mean, he touched on that. I mean, Johnny Brahana-Mescal had to go back to Europe because of contractual obligations, and worked in some new bodies. Antonio Williams arrived today from quarantine and right into the lineup because Nick Ward couldn't play because of a warm-up injury. And they still, despite falling behind 11-0 and 20-7 in the first quarter, found a way and clinched this playoff berth with a big finish here tonight in front of 1,000 fans here at TD Place.
Yeah, and I think that despite it only being a few minutes, Antonio Williams brought some energy that they actually really needed at that point in the game. And to what Dominique Archie had said in his interview, playoffs, clinching a playoff spot being a mid-level goal, I love that mentality. That mentality is going to lead them into their next week of practices with their actual goal of winning in playoffs and making sure they're integrating their new guys in such a way that when we see them again on August 4th at home again, we know they play better at home, that they're going to be the best versions of themselves to now move past that mid-level goal to what they want to do, which is win a championship.
And again, both these teams will get some time off before their next games. For Saskatchewan, they travel to Edmonton August 2nd for a date with the Stingers. That coverage begins at 7 Central. Ottawa plays their last home game of the regular season August 4th against Guelph. Tip-off slated for 7 p.m. Eastern. On behalf of our entire crew, for our producer Colin Murphy, Elias Elzane, Hannah Sunley Paisley, 3-time All-Canadian at that. Had to get that in once more. I'm AJ Jakubek. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Final score once again, the Ottawa Blackjacks clinch a playoff spot, defeating the Saskatchewan Rattlers 82-69. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have yourself a terrific night.